What you are about to hear is highly classified.
And welcome back to The Zone, everybody. Brant Fowler, aka the Gonzo Goose, back with you with another Marvel Now #1 issue, this time with New Avengers #1. This is written by Jonathan Hickman with pencils by Steve Epting, inks by Rick Magyar and Steve Epting, colors by Frank D'Armata, and letters by VC's Joe Caramagna. Cover art by JOCK, and various variant cover artists. And you know, we've seen a lot of talk about this particular book. It's going to reinstate the Illuminati, and that's kind of where things head off. The book starts with a look back at the previous Illuminati, where Black Panther was like, I'm not going to be a part of this. Who says you can have the right to choose that you are the defenders of this world, and you know what happens when you disagree and all this stuff. So he's like, you should walk away, and he did walk away. Of course they didn't, and we know what happened with all of that. That led to Planet Hulk and all kinds of stuff. So now, back in the present, we get Reed Richards talking about everything dying, and it's just simply the way it is, and he can accept it. We don't know what that's about until later, of course. But then we go back in time 26 hours in Wakanda, and there's these three warriors, and they're in some kind of test, some kind of game that tells who the future leaders of, I guess, the tribe are, or their society. These are the future leaders, and they find this monument that has all this writing on these names and stuff, and they figure out how to open it, and turns out it's like a solar system, and Black Panther shows up, and he's like, you guys are the or it's actually two guys and a girl, but you all are the makers. They're the best, they're finest of their generation, and you know, their future's bright. One of them's I think they're all related actually, but I know he said specifically to one of them that your grandfather was the former Black Panther, and his spirit lives in me, like all the previous Black Panthers, so on and so forth. So it's a great moment with Black Panther and these proteges of his, and he's telling them, you know, we need to go beyond where man is gone, into space, into the stars. That's your mission, and so on and so forth. But then, you know, and I'm not going to give this whole story away because I don't typically do full spoiler reviews here, but then this rhino comes out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, and it almost knocks them down, and they discover that there's like a little portal. And that's where things change, because there's this woman, and Manifold is with her, and she's got these troops with her too, and there's this giant planet hovering over Earth now, and they explain to Black Panther that they are there to kill the world, and would he stop them if they told him? And he said, I'd do more than try to stop you. You know, well, she said, would you try to stop me? And he said, I'll do more than try. So yeah, that leads to some interaction, we'll say, between the lady who refers to herself as a Black Swan and Black Panther and his proteges, and it's not pretty. As the issue comes to a close, after all that goes down, because I don't want to spoil that, after all that goes down, Black Panther feels like he's at his wit's end. He doesn't know what to do at this point, and there's like this inner monologue. He's saying, save me from such and such and such and such. It's like, save me from, you know, the devil himself, save me from Midnight Kings, and, you know, righteous men and stuff, and who he's describing are the members of the Illuminati, because as he's saying all this, he has invited the new Illuminati there to help him solve this problem, because he can't solve it on his own. And this new Illuminati is very much like the old Illuminati, only it seems like Professor X has been replaced with Captain America. So they're marching up there, and that's how the issue ends. And so yeah, it was kind of a soft introduction for the Illuminati, and a full-on introduction of the threat that they're going to deal with, at least in this first arc. So, you know, I have to say, Steve Epting's art was beautiful. You know, it was there was a lot of elements to this where it was he showed the phasing abilities of Black Panther, and, you know, just kind of like the progression of him from this point to this point to this point, all in succession. You know, the close-ups, the facial expressions, you know, it was beautiful art, beautiful colors. Everything about it was beautiful. I had no complaints about the art at all, in my opinion. The dialogue was decent. When the Wakandans were talking, they sounded like any American teenagers, though. It didn't sound as genuine as I think it could. You know, that's a nitpick. But, you know, the story itself is interesting. You know, Black Panther maintains his integrity. He's, you know, still holding his ground, but at the same time he realizes that this is a threat bigger than him. I don't understand why he wouldn't just call in the Avengers. I don't understand why he would go back on his stance there just because of this. I mean, incidents like this have happened before. I mean, Galactus. So it doesn't make sense to me that he would just drop everything he believes in and call upon this group of leaders that he doesn't agree with. So I don't get that, but they're trying to sell that this is a huge thing that is beyond any one man's ability to decide. So I'm fine with it. It didn't blow me away, but it was good. It was solid. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Jonathan Hickman, but so far with Marvel now, I've liked what he's been doing with the Avengers, and I'm interested to see where it goes from here. So, and like I said, I love the art, so I'm going to give this first issue a 4 out of 5. Yeah, it was that good. But I will say that if the story doesn't continue to interest me, because right now I'm just intrigued, I want to see what happens from here. If it doesn't, it's definitely going to be either lower scores or dropped. So we'll see what happens from here. But a solid first issue effort, and a nice introduction to this threat and the Illuminati. So that's going to do it for this review. Check out all the other reviews here on the Zone 4 podcast channel, and check my reviews over on Dark Avenger Inc. And you know, I've posted a couple this week, and of course more to come as the new books come out this week. And I'll try my best to catch up on the books that I'm behind on this channel. I will tell you that New Avengers number 2 is going to be over on Dark Avenger Inc. So, and that should be up about the same time as this one's up, or right after. So go check that out as well. And listen to Zone 4 every Friday. Zone4podcast.com, comicrelated.com, which is back up, and I'll get to that in a minute. And Dark Avenger Inc. on Sundays. So comicrelated.com is back up for now. Stilted flow of stories, but it is up. So please check that out daily for your daily fix of news, reviews, columns, podcasts, what we can do at this point. And like them on Facebook, like all of us on Facebook, Zone 4, Dark Avenger Inc., and Comic Related. So that's going to do it for this one, and thanks for watching.
Swinging on a little thread, shooting spider webs from his hands. On the streets of New York City, he steps out to make a stand. He's Spider-Man.
This has been a Gonzo Goose production.